Well, I work at a school. I'm a teacher, and our PE teacher had sent out a blurb and an email to the entire staff that the Anthony Bates Foundation was coming to the school, and we all went through the screening, and it was painless, it was effortless, people were lovely, and my husband was the last one off the table and came up to us and said, by the way, yes, I just found out I have an aneurysm and a leaky valve, and I need to get to a cardiologist immediately. And I was just floored by that fact that it was him and not my son. And so we thank the Bates Foundation tremendously, because he wouldn't be here today without it.
No, and if I could add one piece to that, basically what happened was I was actually laying on the table, and the echocardiogram tech basically started looking, and immediately within 2 seconds said, "Oh, you have an aneurysm." And it kind of took me back, because like she said, it was at the very end of all the screening. The three of them were waiting for me at the door, and I was like, "I have an aneurysm?" That's when they called over the cardiologist and sat us down and explained and said, "Get to a doctor immediately." No, not really. And that question's been asked by cardiologists that I've been going to since, and even people that know what happened to me. And I just attribute it to old age, being winded, during exercise, but I can't say that I did, I guess, in hindsight. Some of the things that I felt probably, I'm sure, would attribute to the aneurysm, but I would not have gone to the doctor, put it that way. No, I mean, the foundation and going to this screening definitely saved my life. I went to a cardiologist, and quite honestly, when I walked into the office and told him why I was there, because he looked at me and said, "You look healthy, why are you seeing me?" Explained to him about going to the screening. He asked which foundation. I told him. He said, "Oh, okay, yeah." And he said, "But I got to be honest with you." He said, "A lot of times when you go through the screenings," he said, "they may detect things that really aren't there, so I don't want you to panic." And I said, "Okay." It made me feel good at first, but there was something in the back of my mind that thought, "Yeah, I don't know about it." So they did the echocardiogram as well, and I could tell right away that when they looked, that the two of them, the tech and the cardiologist, looked at one another. Then he started listening close to my heart. Absolutely not. No, I think what would have ended up happening, unfortunately, and we've talked about this, I am in stores, I've got a pretty active physical job. She probably would have gotten a call that I collapsed on the job and had a dissection from the aneurysm and probably died out in the field, is what I think. I'm just grateful that I am here and that we went to the screening that day.
I definitely, I don't take it for granted that I have a family that's here, and I learned to value everything I have a lot more than I used to, and I understand that at any time I could have had to be the man of the household, and yeah, it's just crazy to put your mind through that, thinking that you would have to step up. I'm only 15 years old, and knowing that my dad might not be here today without the foundation was shocking.
Wow, even more happened with his surgery and his father almost passing away at the same time of his exact surgery in the same hospital. And knowing Scotty used to be a little bit nervous about his heart, I see a sense of ease in him now that he's had the screening. Somehow I think he trusts that his diagnosis is correct and he isn't going to drop on the football field. And we actually subsequently have been able to find out that it was asthma causing the problem all along, and he was actually having severe asthma attacks and he didn't know it. He has sports-induced or exercise-induced asthma.
I've got a history of heart problems in my family, and nothing, by the way, was ever detected. And that is one of the things that I mentioned going back to the cardiologist. I told him that I do have a couple cousins, male cousins, that were diagnosed with heart murmurs at a younger age. And when he was listening to my heart, he said, "I could hear something there. No one's ever told you that in your entire life." I said, "No," although there was a history. And then that kind of amazed him that it was found during the screening at the foundation. He said, "Wow." And he just kept saying, in fact, he said to me over and over again, "You realize how lucky you are that you went there that day?" I said, "Yeah, I know." He goes, "'Cause you wouldn't be here, I'm telling you right now."
I know it was initially my reason that we ended up going, but the process was easy, it was simple, and it was so quick, and it saved my dad's life, and I'm so grateful for it, and I recommend everyone to do it.
Absolutely, I would highly recommend you do it. You know, a lot of times I think I look at myself like probably most men, 30s and 40s, kind of think we're indestructible. Oh, I don't need to go to the doctor. I am one of those guys, and I'm extremely grateful that the foundation was available and that my wife signed us up and had us go there, because, like I said, there's no doubt in my mind that I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for the foundation.